A lot of athletes these days think they're above the law.
You're out of order! You're out of order! The whole trial is out of order!
Let's get an inside look at the legal side of sports.
If you're on the line, hang in there. We will get back to talking about sports figures you would most like to punch in the face. But right now we welcome in Ric Calzada from My Law Solution. Let My Law Solution be your law solution. He is my lawyer. He is Bianchi's lawyer. He is not only one of the best in the law business, you are one of the best client guests I have ever worked with in 20 years of radio.
Wow, Doc, thank you so much. That's quite a compliment.
It's awesome having you on the air. I look forward to this segment every week, and it's a lot of fun, and you're gold on the air, and we really appreciate you coming in every week and sponsoring our show. It's great having you on board.
It's a lot of fun, too.
Good. I'm glad you enjoy it. Now I'm going to have to rip you.
All right, here we go.
You're a Florida State grad.
I am.
What are your thoughts on Florida State spending $62,000 on state championship rings for their team?
You know, I read the story, and I don't have a problem with it at all. I mean, look, they had a very good season, okay, and the players deserve a little bit of a trophy or a commemorative item of some sort. And what's wrong with having a ring that says you are Florida State champs? I mean,
did you beat UCF?
Well, if we had played UCF, we would have crushed UCF. You understand that. You know that.
Hey, if my aunt had onions, she'd be my uncle.
Look, I went to Florida State from 1991 to 2002, multiple degrees in between. The state championship meant a lot to Florida State fans. With all those wide rights and the losses in Spurrier and the Canes, when we won the state championship, it really meant something to us. In fact, one of my favorite T-shirts at Florida State was when Miami won the national championship, but we beat them in the season. The shirt said, Florida State champions 24, national champions 10. And to this day, that's like one of my favorite T-shirts of all time because it does. So to Florida State fans who play every single year, both schools, no one else does that, it means something more to us than anyone else.
All right, fair enough. Do you have a Catholics versus Convicts shirt?
I don't. That was a little before my time, but that was a great one as well.
Yeah, I have one of those still.
Nice.
It's in my collection of T-shirts that I'm supposed to get rid of, but never do.
No, that's a classic.
I also have my favorite from Penn State was when we used to play Notre Dame that says Rudy was offsides.
I love it.
All right, so we were talking today about Buddy Ryan, and you, of course, remember him punching Kevin Gilbride on the sidelines of the Houston Oilers game.
Yep.
That led to a discussion on who in the sports world you would most like to punch in the face.
That's easy. Urban Meyer.
Oh, that's a great one.
Urban Meyer, no doubt about it. I think some Gators would join me on that one.
Man, if you were a caller, I'd just give you the tickets right now. That is outstanding. That's a good call.
Yeah, no doubt. That's a quick one.
Now, one of the most popular answers today has been Johnny Manziel.
Okay.
All right. Now, he's been in the news for all of the wrong reasons.
Forever.
Since he won the Heisman.
It doesn't go away.
Yeah, he peaked at, 19, 20 years old winning the Heisman.
Yep.
Hasn't done anything right since. His lawyer just resigned.
Yes.
Right? You've been following this case?
Absolutely.
Okay. And he resigned because he tweeted to the AP, let's hope he doesn't have to take a drug test or words to that effect.
Right.
Right? Which is confidential information between a client and his lawyer.
Well, to an extent.
Okay.
So I've read the story and I've seen it thrown out there that he violated attorney-client privilege. All right. And I can see why people would make that conclusion, but it's not technically attorney-client privilege because Johnny Manziel didn't tell him, I can't pass a drug test. It is a privilege, okay, and he shouldn't have done it, but it's more of a work product privilege, okay? Work product is things that we do in preparation for a case. It could be facts that we discover, or it could be mental opinions. And this is more of a mental opinion, which is highly protected, privileged information that he should have never released out to the public. And was it a mistake? Yeah. Was it a bad mistake? Absolutely, because it further sullies the Manziel brand in the court of public opinion. That information would never come out at trial.
Okay. Now, as a lawyer,
yes,
have you ever accidentally texted or accidentally divulged information that's even close to being privileged?
Never, ever. Although I have missent a text meant for one person to another, I've received dozens. I had one a couple weeks ago. I got invited to a pool party in New Smyrna Beach. And I said, oh, thank you so much for inviting me. They're like, oh, is this Ric Calzada? No, this is for other Rick. And I'm like, what?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, that's horrible.
Yeah, so I got misinvited to a party on a mistext to another Rick. So it happens.
Did they say you can't come?
They
or
said I can come.
Oh, okay.
I
good.
didn't come.
Why not? A pool party in New Smyrna?
Yeah, well, it wasn't intended for me.
But still.
But no, but he made a mistake. Absolutely no doubt about it.
Now, is that something that he needed to resign?
I think he had to. Absolutely. No doubt about it. And I've read things out in the media that maybe he did it on purpose because he wanted to be released from the case. No way. That you would never jeopardize your law license by intentionally divulging work product or attorney-client privilege information to get out of a case. It's very easy to get out of a case. You can just file a motion with the court, and the court will accept your findings, and you get out. So he wasn't even the lead attorney either, so he's a peripheral attorney on the defense team. So to get out of a case in that role would have been no problem whatsoever, and certainly wouldn't have done anything to jeopardize his bar license.
Now, let's say he had texted out confident. Is that a disbarable offense, or just
certainly worthy of a suspension? No doubt about it.
Wow. All right. Now, I wanted to touch briefly on Dan Skuta, the linebacker from the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Yes.
He has been accused of hitting a woman in the face.
Mm-hmm.
Her head hits the glass downtown Orlando. This type of case that's that public.
Yes.
I mean, what is that the type of case that is winnable if you are the prosecution? Because we hear so often how difficult it is to get a conviction in domestic violence cases.
Well, so it's not technically a domestic violence case.
Yeah, poor choice of
it's,
words.
It's a simple battery around 2 a.m. in downtown Orlando at Central and Orange. At 2 a.m. at Central and Orange, not a lot of good things are going on at that time. And so it's not that the case is easy or hard because it's public. The case is easy or hard because of the witnesses, all right? And so from a defense perspective, the player had his girlfriend with him. So he's got a witness on. Yes, from
what?
Yeah, from my reading of this, he is with his own girlfriend. That's why none of the story makes sense to me. He's with his girlfriend, all right, who is supporting him that he didn't touch anybody. And the police saw no marks on the alleged victim, no evidence that he had actually committed a battery on her other than her word and her friend's word. So you've got 4 individuals at the scene. The accused, his accomplice girlfriend, and then the victim and her friend. And they're both telling different stories. Now, you look at his mugshot. Okay? His mugshot has a big red mark under his eye where it appears that he was struck. So from a defense perspective, there's a whole lot here to put, reasonable doubt in play.
Yeah.
He has a mark, she doesn't. All right? He's got a witness, she's got a witness. Put these things all together, stir it up. You got reasonable doubt.
Wow. All right, real quick before we let you go.
All right.
Our Mikey's category today, because Mikey Awards will be next week.
Okay.
You're going to be a VIP for us, right? You're going to show up at the tap room?
Absolutely.
At Dub's Dread?
Get a hamburger there.
Oh, they're so good. The food at the tap room is just amazing. Our category is Choke of the Year.
Okay.
So we want to know, of these, who do you think is the biggest choke? Jordan Spieth at the Masters, Real Salt Lake at the Orlando City Opener, the Sonics blowing that series to the Warriors blowing the series to the Cavs, the Seattle Mariners blowing a 10-run lead, or the Cincinnati Bengals losing to the Steelers?
To me, Spieth was like a monumental meltdown at the end of that.
All right, now.
Yeah.
We're going to go one more here.
Okay, all right.
Because after that list right there,
yes,
we realized we left off Michigan State, Michigan. Does that beat Jordan Spieth?
Ooh, that's pretty good. I got to go with that one.
Right?
I got to go with that one. How do you do that? I still remember my son and I watching that game. Like, did that just happen? Did that really just happen? Yeah, that's a heartbreaker right there.
He is Ric Calzada from My Law Solution. He is my lawyer. He is Bianchi's lawyer. Let him be your lawyer. Rick, thank you so much for coming in. It is always a pleasure to have you here, and we look forward to talking to you next week.
Y'all take care.